Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will share with you some tactical analysis over on the Bitcoin charts, as once again, Bitcoin's weekly candle has closed in the red, and that makes for 7 weekly candles closing red in a row. And I believe that is the first time Bitcoin has ever closed 7 weekly candles in the red. And so the sell-off in Bitcoin does continue, and there will be some who will tell you Bitcoin has hit the bottom. I would say proceed with caution. Bitcoin could continue to sell off even further. We might just be at the very beginning of the decline of a bear market. And with that being said, we'll jump over here to a sample of what market structure typically looks like. You have your accumulation phase before the markup, or essentially the bull run, and then you will have a distribution where everybody starts to take profit from this bull run. And then after the distribution phase, you actually have the decline, which is really the bear market phase. Now, with that all being said, if we jump to the weekly Bitcoin chart, so on the weekly chart, you can see we had the accumulation phase back here in 2020. We then get a bull market run up, and we have now seen a sell-off, or the distribution phase, and then the price kind of moves sideways. And then we are now perhaps starting to see just the beginning of the decline phase. Again, if we jump over here to the market structure, and this market structure plays over and over again, you can see this is actually from the stock market, but we can apply it to Bitcoin's chart over on the weekly chart right now, because we did see the big distribution phase where the price sold off, moved sideways, and now it does appear to be heading into the decline phase. Again, if I jump back over here to the weekly chart, there is the distribution, the move sideways, and now the decline does appear to have begun. And in fact, if we take a look at the EMA ribbon, you can see it has begun to flip. The greens are now on the bottom, the reds and yellows are moving to the top, and that is a very bearish signal. In addition to, probably the biggest red alert is the fact that Bitcoin closed below the white line that you see running through the chart, and that is the 120-day moving average, and the weekly candle that just closed yesterday on Sunday closed below that for the first time since probably the last beginning of the previous bear market in 2018, if you eliminate the black swan event of the virus breakout. So again, at the end of the day, with 7 red weekly candles in a row, and right now we're actually working on the 8th red candle. However, today's Monday, so we've got a long way to go on this candle. But in theory, we could be headed into that long decline of a bear market. And with that being said, this is a weekly chart, so this can drag out for weeks and weeks. We could see a bear market that lasts somewhere between a year to 2 years, which actually would fit in with most of your bear market time frames. And so the majority of the trades that I take during a bear market are short. However, I will occasionally take some quick long positions on bounces, because you do occasionally get bounces, much like we did back here last week where we came down to this low. We got a nice bounce up. That would have been an opportunity to get long, but you need to make sure you have your stop losses tight and your trailing stop loss in place in case it reverses on you. You have a chance to lock in profits and get out. Now, if I drop in the Fibonacci retracement, which I'm basically going from this low of 32,917 after the dump from the all-time high to the bump up around 48,000 where the price got rejected. And right now, the key level I will be keeping a close watch on is going to be the 1272 level on the Fibonacci retracement, and that is coming in at 28,763, or pretty much that 28.8 level we saw back here. And you can see I dropped in a bit of a support zone from back here to here. We did actually wick below on last week's candles below that zone, which does actually make sense given last week's sell pressure with everything that went on last week with Luna, UST, and just the overall stock market selling off as well. And again, that all puts sell pressure on BTC. However, On a positive note, it has proven to be fairly resilient, as we did get a weekly close up here just above 31,000. But right now, at the start of the new week, Bitcoin is currently seeing more sell pressure and pushing back down towards this 28.8 level. If this level breaks, then we could be looking back at the 1618 level, and that's going to put us around 23,478. And then if the bulls fail to hold the 1618, then we'd be looking all the way back to the 2272 Fibonacci level, and that puts us right around 13.5. And that level, if you look back and check your 6, would be pretty much the beginning of the most recent bull market. So it's not impossible for a market to go back and test that previous level. Now, besides the 23,005 level, the other main level I'm looking at before we get down into that worst case 13,000 level, I'd be keeping a close eye on 20,000, as that was the previous all-time high in the last bull market. And so the $20,000 level could definitely be in play and a strong level of support. Now, on the flip side, if we get a bounce out of Bitcoin, obviously the first level of resistance is going to be this 32.9 or 33,000. It has been a level of support in the past. Oftentimes, though, those levels of support turn into resistance. And so in reality, 33,000 would be the first level of resistance. After that, then we're looking up at the 786 level, which also has acted as support and is now resistance at around 36,000. And in reality, if we get a bounce up into, say, 36,000, I would caution that that could just be a bull trap, and then the price rolls back over and sells off even deeper. And with that being said, you would really want to proceed with caution on the bull side pretty much until Bitcoin's price got above the 382 level, and that's going to put us at around 42,000. And you can see that has been a pretty strong level of resistance actually in the past if we look back here. And so until Bitcoin can get a close back above that level, any other move could just be a giant bull trap and snap shut. And if that bull trap does snap shut, then we'd see a big red move towards the downside. And so with that all being said, over here on the weekly chart, you can see we have 7 red candles in a row. Right now, we're setting up for an 8th red candle. Again, it's early, it's Monday. And so with that all in mind, I will be keeping a close eye on this 1272 level of 28.7. And then after that, more than likely, we're looking back at 23,500. Now, if we jump to a shorter time frame, the hourly chart, this is really kind of the first chart I look at when day trading before I jump down to the 5-minute chart. And right now on the hourly chart, there is a trend line that Bitcoin is currently holding. We even got another touch just recently here. And so what I'm actually looking for is a close down below this trend line as a possible entry for a short. Now, if I jump this out to the 5-minute, you can see that same white trend line is playing through here. We are getting touches off of it. It's getting pretty close to breaking it, so I might have an opportunity to get short. And if I was to get short, my profit target would be down here around the 28.8, at least my first profit target. I might scale out half my position at this level. And then after scaling out of that, I would more than likely just keep an eye on the level 2s, which is your order book, and watch that price action. And as long as there's heavy sell pressure, I'd stay in the position. It could go anywhere down to 27.5 or even that 26.5 level. But at the end of the day, the overall picture for Bitcoin is obviously very bearish. And I think it's important to remember, with a lot of people out there claiming that this is the bottom, we could just actually be at the beginning of the decline. So proceed with caution. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. If anything major happens on the charts, I will definitely do an update video. So now would be a good time to shoot that subscribe button. If you like this video, do me a favor, spike a like. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. And in closing, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.